Hello, I'm Molly, and today I get to speak to you about the topic of hospitality. The verse I'll be referring to is Romans 12:13, which says, "When God's people are in need, be ready to help them. Always be eager to practice hospitality." I wonder if when I say the word hospitality, you have some faces that come to mind like I do. For me, it's people who I think have a spirit of hospitality. It's like it's part of their DNA. One example of this is that when I was 16, I came to BCC as a brand new Christian, and I very quickly joined and became part of Andy and Carolyn Driscoll's life group. It was a youth life group. And sometimes I look back and cringe. We met weekly at their home, and we definitely made ourselves at home in their house. A bunch of teenagers, so many stories that I don't have time to tell here, but some of them involve fire, spilt hot chocolates on carpets, many broken items, etc. etc. When we arrived at their house on a Tuesday evening, Joe would often be running around with next to nothing on. We would get stuck in with loading their dishwasher and helping make cups of tea, catching up on the day. And we'd arrive earlier than we were supposed to. We would stay later than we were supposed to. But going to their house now feels like coming home because of the hours and hours spent there in discipleship. So much discipleship took place in that home. And that's because they opened up their lives to us, they opened up their home to us, and they just gave us their time. Now, another person who embodies hospitality for me, lots of you will know her, is Betty. She's my mother-in-law. I don't often say that actually, but she's George's mum. And Betty and Mark's house, lots of you might know this, it's like a magnet for people in need. And at various times that's been me. I remember turning up at their house in my pyjamas and bursting into tears on their sofa, quickly being brought a cup of tea, and they've done that for so many people, and they just embody hospitality. And as a family, they've always been ready to make room for others. They would listen, pray, laugh with you, make endless cups of tea. Tea is very important in that house. But that's discipleship, isn't it? And it's hospitality at its best. And Betty also leads Lifehouse, which lots of you will know about, and the whole team there really do exactly what today's verse says. The part at the beginning where it says, "When God's people are in need, be ready to help them." Hospitality is the main ingredient, as far as I'm concerned, about what makes Lifehouse so special, and everyone can see that. People like this make you feel at home when you're with them. They make you feel seen, known, and loved, whether or not you're in their house actually. And it's not about being welcomed into a spotless home which they've spent hours and hours hoovering and dusting. I don't think Betty or Carolyn would mind me saying that that's not always the case with them. They just let you in whatever their home is like at the time. And there's an amazing book that I love called Habits of the Household. This wouldn't be one of my devotionals if I didn't hold up a book. But there's a chapter about meal times, and I love this bit about hospitality. It says, "Entertaining guests is when you clean everything. You make up nice plates of food and batches of drinks and maybe get a sitter for the kids. At best, entertaining is where we honour our guests by offering an experience of comfort and beauty. At worst, entertaining is where we honour ourselves by showing off what we can pull off." In any case, hospitality is different. Hospitality is simply opening the door. Hospitality is welcoming someone into the unvarnished mess. It's inviting someone into the chaos, because that's where real family happens. Being eager to practice hospitality, for me, takes some intentionality. I don't know about you, but if I don't block off time on my calendar, like literally circle times that I'll invite people around and be specific about who that might be, then it just doesn't happen. I find it easy to make time for my friends and family, but what about those on the outskirts, those who are struggling, those who are lonely? What about the person who comes around and eats your food, makes a mess and doesn't say thank you? When do we make time for people like that? We need to be intentional about showing hospitality to these kinds of people. It's such an effective tool for discipleship, and we have the opportunity to be the hands and feet of Jesus for these people in our lives while sat around at our dinner table. Sorry, that's Phoebe over there. Even if you're just eating leftovers from the night before, it doesn't matter. It's about making space for those people on the margins. If you don't have a home that you feel you can invite others into for whatever reason, I don't want you to feel excluded from this. Jesus often invited himself into the homes of others, didn't he? And you can do that too. offer to bring something, offer to help with the washing up, but also you can practice hospitality at Costa or on a walk at the beach. Please show hospitality at church on a Sunday morning. How would Jesus welcome newcomers at BCC on a Sunday morning? How would he host someone at church who's living a messy life and maybe they're not changing in the way that we hope they would? So let's just consider some final questions as we finish. And maybe when you finish watching this, you'll ask the Holy Spirit to prompt you, and hopefully someone will come to mind that he wants you to invite into your life, into your home, sometime soon. So how open is your front door to others? Are you asking, and am I asking God who he would like us to open our homes and our lives up to? And to what extent am I using my home as a tool for discipleship? Thank you, and have a great day.